Ooh,
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Okay, coolio. That was awesome. I won't lie. That was our first time doing the combat. That was my first time running actual space combat in this system. Obviously, took a lot of explanation, which takes a little extra time. But I genuinely like the way that you guys handled it. Like your parts and your positions, all that stuff is fun. I like that Rick kind of just threw the responsibility to Ollie, so it's kind of like Ollie, because I don't know, I feel like Ollie did the role pretty well, which was nice. It was funny that
It's
he
good because it's actually like one of the only things Entourage can do.
Yeah,
yeah,
I was about to say
yeah.
that's why I did it.
Yeah.
I am way better at comms than I'm at like, hey, Cracks, can you shoot the guns? And he just goes, fuck you, Solarian.
So I don't know. It worked out very well. I'm pretty happy with it. That's nice. But here you guys are with 18 days of travel, which is probably a little frustrating. Trying to find out what you can do, what's on your ship.
Yeah, we're supposed to pay Tremilia for
I am,
that. But,
What was that, Rick?
we're supposed to pay her, but she just threw us into a fit for 18 days. And he's like, I expect to get paid by the end of this. And I just go, I'll expect you to go fuck yourself.
Do you guys probably don't have that conversation yet, do you?
Not yet.
No, but...
That'll be at the end of when we've sold the shuttle and all of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably when we get to port.
So yeah, we'll worry about that soon.
Cracks,
Listen.
crack open the cargo.
Yeah.
How big is this thing we stole?
My apologies. How big is the what you stole?
The thing,
cargo?
the box.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So the shit that you guys took literally filled up your cargo area considerably well. Like it was.
Cracked was really strong just then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 0
This
grams.
is weightless.
Yeah.
You just pushed it.
So anyways, you guys
About to
rip
pull
open the
slightly.
cargo to see what's inside there, and actually, at first, you have no fucking clue what it is. It's like a whole bunch of little boxes and crates and stuff like that. After like cracking into it for a little while and trying to figure out what things are and you eventually come to realize, wait, these are like seeds and filtration things and stuff like that. Oh, it took you a while to figure out what it was, but this is actually a and I'm trying to make sure I say the name correctly, so give me a second while I find it. Yeah, here it is. So this is actually about half of the supplies. It's all of the organic supplies and a little bit of the mechanical supplies required to have a hydroponic production station on a ship. So it's not all of the supplies, but it's all of the biological material, the organic side, and the some of the systems for a hydroponic station.
Could you explain what the fuck that is for those of us who don't
Absolutely, I would love to.
know anything?
So every ship has, obviously has its ESO engine, and you have to get some fuel. You have to actually get ESO to run the engine, so on and so forth. But you also have life support. Life support.
It creates
literally
oxygen.
It creates oxygen, creates food, creates water, creates all of those things for you, right? This is something that creates that stuff so the ship can sustain itself. It doesn't need to refuel.
Gotcha.
It allows you to continue traveling much further, much longer. So the problem is the smallest size ship that can have these things is a cruiser.
Oh, no, that's fine.
This is worth 10,000 credits per class size. Frank's going to look up the total for that in a second, but because it's only half of the supplies, it's worth half of the supplies to put a hydroponic station on a cruiser.
That's cool.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it's taking up our entire cargo bay to have half of it, so there's no way we could get the other half and upgrade our ship. But it's gonna sell good.
We couldn't even fit it on here.
You couldn't fit
Yeah.
it on there, exactly.
Yeah.
It needs to stay inside the crates and whatnot. And you really can't eat it either unless you're eating like raw seeds, which might work, but you don't really know what they
I think
are.
Asari are probably okay with that. They seem like
Here's
the kind
the
of
thing, though. We're literally headed to an upstart alliance colony, aren't we? The perfect
Yeah,
cover.
they'd pay so much more for this. Oh, I mean,
And it gives us a legitimate reason to be there as well.
yeah, that's a good idea actually.
Wait,
Entourage
you
would
saying-
check.
that selling our stolen goods is a legitimate reason to be there? I just think it's funny.
We found it!
In space, it's a legitimate reason. Entourage would check, but this crate doesn't have any incriminating emblems or anything on it.
Oh, but yeah, that was the entire crate. Nothing else.
Yeah, because if think about how much space that takes up, that's literally the mass for one of those.
Oh yeah, it's a mass of
6,
2
right?
or 6.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
6.
because it's times 3.
Half of
right.
that is 3. So, but it's all crated up, so it takes up a little bit less. So it's literally taking up your whole cargo. Like literally, Krax has to climb over and around and through boxes. Do you guys remember when you play Mass Effect? Sometimes you would land on a station, you have to like go through like a maze of like crates and whatnot set up to fight like whatever aliens were there. If you
Chest high walls.
Yeah, like exactly. Well, chest high, and then like stacked even higher.
These are more than just chest high walls.
It's literally like one of those on your ship right now, and Krax has to navigate his way through just to make his bed on his pile of guns. You know what I mean?
We're using the storage room for his bedroom.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Can you remember like one thing about his campaign, Scott? Please.
Well, no. I'm sorry.
Wow.
No, because you guys specifically said that you wanted the guns to be over by the boarding tubes, which is why I thought his bedroom was down there.
We. That was one of the things we did in the Entourage did.
We decided
time is move the guns from Krax's bedroom to the wall down there.
I thought we wanted the guns in the storage closet because it's right next to the bedroom.
No, we put it down there because it'd be a way more organized space for boarding and stuff like that.
So if you actually look,
that's where the armory is right now. So, fuck it.
If you actually look at the picture of the map, it's literally so. Let me just put this so that it can be seen on screen as well. So if you actually look at the picture of the map, it's literally like if you look at the number 8 or the circle that's in the lower half of the deck, it's literally that room that's just to the side of it above where the stairs are. That's actually where I planned that all the weapons were, and where I was saying.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, in that case,
that's a good place. That's a good place for it to be.
Over there now.
So
Krax has just moved where his bedroom is.
Yeah.
Okay.
He moves. He sleeps with the guns.
I mean, Entourage moved the guns to get them out of Krax's bedroom, and then he moved to be with the guns. So
probably like he's not doing this obviously, so Antari knows, but like over the 18 days he's like bringing crates of weapons back up to the storeroom trying to like reclaim it.
Oh dear.
So it's funny because you do want a Krogan down by where somebody could come onto your ship, right? Like that's where your boarding tube area is.
It's awkward to have than Krax in the cupboard staring at us while he sleeps.
Look, he closes the door.
He just leans out like.
Yeah.
Just the nightly image of Krax just like on a freaking DS playing a game, just with the doors open.
He has the sound on and everything.
Yeah, it's like full blast volume.
All right, so continuing on. That's what you guys find inside the crates, and it took you a while. Like, we'll say it took you like 2 days to open it up, to realize what it was, and organize it in a way that you guys are fine with. Leaving with 16 days more of travel, not a big deal. Who's keeping track of things like...
I wanted to check if there was no, like, actual emblems on the boxes or anything. So, like, when we sell it to people, it's like, oh, why aren't you from this company that belongs to that this belongs to?
Sure, absolutely.
Because we're a traveling trader.
That's a really good question. I actually didn't plan that, but I'm going to find out what it is right now.
I imagine a lot of things would just be like, oh, it's like just a random company, random. But if it's like something of note, that would be something to pay attention to.
So why don't you roll me a no check, and all of you guys can roll this for me.
Lord.
Entourage doesn't know anything about anything.
Tell me.
Intelligence?
Cattle occasionally is an information broker.
Oh god.
My 6s are 4s. Sad face.
Yeah, so unbeknownst to all of you, my family's actually like hydroponic moguls, just off in Solarian space, just like, yeah, you want to grow food? Not under my
It's a whole reason we attacked the ship. As it turns out, it was all a plan.
I'm taking out the competition, baby.
Yeah. Also, I did the math. It's 15K worth of gear that we have.
Yeah, I saw that
of the
chat.
hydroponic.
Thank you very much. Thank you
No
very much. The name of the company is. I'm so sorry. I just give you a pain in the bummy there. I can come with the name of the company afterwards. It's not a big deal. Oh, here we go. We're gonna call it Butler Supplies.
Cattle. What is Butler Supplies?
I can
do
tell
as
you
well.
all about Butler supplies. They were used on Earth by some fuckers, and they're, I don't know. Don't want to go into that.
Is their
dark
logo like a cute little
Russians,
butler?
So Butler Supplies is a human organization that handles supplies to the harder to get to reaches of space.
Oh, that's exactly what we want.
So it's the harder to get to, actually specifically for the what is it, Terminus systems, I believe. Yes, for the Terminus systems, they're actually based out of Omega Station, but it is a human-run facility that is it's a peaceful it's not an organization that's like sketchy as far as you know, that has any like negative details here or there. What did you roll? You didn't roll a natty. Critical, no, you didn't roll a critical success. So there's no like shadiness about them. They're literally just a straight up organization, runs just like any other company would, so on and so forth. It happens to be situated, its base of operations in the Omega station, but not because they're like bad, terrible people and they're trying to run some shady stuff. It's just this is the best place to get to this whole side of the galaxy, right? So that's why they're here.
It makes sense, yeah.
It has their seal on it. Okay. Moving on. You guys are making your way to the Mega Station. Oh, any big conversations you wanted to have amongst each other?
Well, what's the food situation? Because I have 2 days of rations left.
You didn't have to use your rations, so forget you.
Oh, we didn't?
Yeah, remember you restocked the ship's.
We restocked the ship.
We had like 60 days food, and this is 18, right? So we're actually
Never
fine.
mind.
Yep.
That's what I would have liked on a handout, just to easy check that. But
Yeah. So I was saying, we should get that together.
Need to keep track of for now.
I'm going to put that on a handout for you for keeping track of things like life support and so on and so forth, okay?
That'd be cool.
Yep.
I did need to fix those wires at some point.
Aaron, roll for me an electronics intelligence check. And Ollie, could you just say that in Skype really quickly? Handout for life support and garbage.
I have a -1. Could I assist her, though? Or try to?
Yeah, you can assist, sure.
Oh, and that's not including the plus I get from
Fixing?
Yeah, fixing
it's
things,
12?
which is
Sure.
a +1. So it's a 12. Yep.
Sure.
So,
Frank, roll 2
intelligence?
ones so we can ruin things for her. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
A modifier. It's a 3.
You don't
Yeah,
assist.
he's
Never rolled a
trying to
good
help.
roll that is not combat related.
I know. That's who Cracks is. He's trying to help. He's trying to be nice, but he's definitely getting in the way more than
So
I imagine Vinny's very nice about it, though.
everything's fixed and it's looking great and whatnot. Unless there was any specific conversations you guys wanted to have with one another, I'm going to go over some changes or whatever that you did in the meanwhile. Like I said, you weren't able to really use your workstation, Aaron. So any modifications to weapons right now kind of like fall flat.
Oh, wait. Let me check. Because we could turn their workstation back on.
Because your mass is too big. You have too much.
Oh, you're right.
down
We have
here,
0 mass at the moment.
So your workstation is currently offline. It's being blocked by all the stuff that you're carrying, but it's not a big deal because it's worth a lot of money. So you're not able to maintain the modifications to the weapons or anything, but you can reorganize that entire engineering room with the assistance of Cracks, because he was there helping you, getting in the way most of the time, but helping you to the best of his ability to reorganize the engineering room, get everything cleaned up, literally polish portions of it, because I imagine Quarians just hate filth in general. So literally cleaning the room to the best of your ability. Everywhere Cracks goes, it gets dirty again, so you have to clean it up some more. And organizing the wires, organizing the consoles, literally trying to make this so it's your own. More or less, with a few successful checks, you're eventually going to be able to turn this into your engineering room, giving you like a personalization thing, giving you effectively a +1 in this room for yourself. Not yet, though. Yep. It's like a downtime modification. So that's what you're doing, and you're making it look great. Cattle, I imagine, is spending his time going over all the different consoles, making sure all the interfaces are good, double-checking the security measures that this ship has, seeing that everything's there. Unfortunately, like I said before, a lot of the systems that are built into it are like antiquated Alliance ones, but not even Alliance military, just antiquated Alliance Explorer systems. And so getting all those up to par, so kind of like there's better defenses there set to go. Cracks was assisting her. Tremi spends most of her time taking care of piloting. If she's not piloting, she actually just kind of, unless she's given orders to do something else, she literally just lounges around and is generally a pleasant person to be around. She doesn't, like, assuming you guys don't bring up humans, She'll laugh, she'll joke, she likes to drink, she likes to play cards and dice and gamble and stuff like that with you guys. She's actually a pretty cool person. The person I imagine she gets along with the most that she didn't already know prior is Cracks. Like, they have funny stories that they could exchange of combats that they've been in before, and so I imagine they have fun doing that. But Entourage, I have no idea what she would be doing in this downtime. I have no clue.
Well, a little bit of everything, helping people with a little bit of everything, and then probably just like getting like all the information she can about the seed cargo stuff, like just learning all of it, like just out of curiosity, out of maybe she'll need this information, like just how it works, how many seeds there are, like the whole process.
Cattle would happily share some of his hydroponic
Yeah, exactly. And then like a lot of the time probably just like almost a ship therapist. Like someone, if like Tremi's like, oh, it's a bad day, I had to go through a nebula. No melding. I think we'd have to discuss if we were melding with anyone. Although we had a lot of downtime, so if someone wanted to become my brain buddy, I mean, we could have done that. But I don't think anyone wants to do that.
Practice is fine.
Oh, you have that ability, don't you?
I have that ability. But
they don't know what that is.
Well, it would have been described, but yeah, she doesn't think anyone actually wants to meld. She definitely would have mentioned as like we can share information for it and stuff like that.
Bang, okay.
People were like,
it's not just sex. You know what I mean?
Not just sex. Because what I can explicitly do, maybe I'm having like a random conversation with Winnie about it. It's like, oh no, yeah, so I can share consciousness with someone and allows us to speak mind to mind even in stressful situations. And she's like, doing something else.
Cool.
But yeah.
She's literally pulling Cracks away from something. She's like, no, don't punch that.
Cracks is salivating, thinking about Winnie and Entourage melding.
No, Cracks thinks it's gross.
By the concept of melding. You not notice?
No,
Cracks
like,
no, that's gross.
I know. I'm just kidding. All right, so Winnie's like trying to offer this to them. Is this something that Cattle would at all be interested in because of the fact that it's Brainiac related, or no?
Maybe, but at the same time, he does not like people diving into his brain to steal his secrets.
Fair.
He's a Solarian. He's got many of them.
Fair. When you do melding,
like Entourage would be going on about like the combat benefits of being able to speak mind to mind, being able to send instant messages in warfare, like. But also like the therapeutic benefits and how it can help stress relief, like both sides. Both sides.
Cracks will actually
it's not just sex, but the benefits of it.
Cracks would actually take Ontario aside, like at one point, and ask her what it was like being in Clark's mind when he injected this, and show her the drugs. What does the two? Oh no, he used one. You're right. I need to mark that.
It was as if he became a feral beast, more or less. He had an ordered mind, unlike humans supposedly are supposed to. And in a moment, he went from being a human to being more akin to a wolf or something of that sort.
Oh God, Cracks is going to do something
take notes of it. Sorry,
oh no, he's doing this in private. Like what? He's doing this like when everyone else is asleep.
Okay.
God, Cracks is going to do something awkward because he doesn't know biology that well. He's going to ask if she thinks it will have the same effect on him.
I mean, I can do a first aid check.
Honestly, you have a skill in first aid, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, then you just know it does.
But I would be like, yes, although the negative benefits of tsunami are increased aggression, lack of cognitive awareness, and does put significant strain on one's body.
Yeah, he doesn't care about the.
Like she would be doing all this, and he'd be like,
"It's like that's strange."
I think she'd know he doesn't care as well.
But yeah, what was the? It was aggression.
Aggression, lack of awareness, and I think it does actually strain do system strain afterwards.
So it's funny, tsunami
yeah,
is
which is
literally
fine.
what Frank and I were kind of discussing what Krogan rage would be like, but it would give Krogan too many powers if we allowed them to just have the
They
rage
become
ability.
too powerful.
Yeah. So for the short effect duration and difficult application limits its wider use, however, let's see. Subjects gain a morale score of 12, 10 extra hit points for 10 rounds, so for a minute, and a +2 bonus to all hit rolls. At the end of the duration, they immediately lose 10 health points, which may leave them mortally wounded. Each application adds +2 to system strain to the target.
Which I could easily take, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to...
+2 to hit rolls. And
he's going to ask if there's any way for her to keep him in check or aware while he's on it. Or if he ever...
Hypothetically, if we were melding, I'd be able to use my awareness to push you in the right direction.
You just see him like shudder when you say melding.
Yeah, that's exactly. Hypothetically, more or less, subjects under tsunami, and she's probably done some research on the extranet and stuff like that. They are the loosest of cannons. We would have to point you. You would have to point yourself in the direction, and hope that no innocents are in that direction. Because while you are under the effects of the narcotic, you would have no control.
Player-wise, like, I'm totally fine with them melding. Cracks-wise, he's like, ooh, I gotta weigh these
That's how
options.
it works.
It's like, she would basically be the laser pointer.
Yeah.
I will tell you one thing, though. Because of the complexity of this injection, it's not like just anybody can shove it into you, though. Like, it literally requires a skill hand to do it. And,
oh, really?
So that's also Antari.
It requires first aid 1, actually. So it's actually one of those.
Oh.
Like, she doubts hers. Like, if you don't have first aid 1, you have to make a roll to make sure you do it correctly and get the benefits.
Then I would have preferred as like it'd be best if the situation is bad, I injected it to you. But even then, it's a dangerous drug.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cracks is going to ask if you want to meld. It's like, hey, would you meld with me? Not in that way.
Definitely that way.
He knows the difference.
Yeah, he knows the difference.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Entree doesn't. She doesn't even know that melding is sex. She's a little cupcake.
Yeah, because in his mind, it's, people have played with Pyjacks and laser pointers, where the Pyjacks go chasing the laser pointer. He's putting himself as like, oh, if I take this and I go into a Krogan rage, or the like, she can point me in a direction.
Or the worst case scenario, calm you down like Hulk. Like Hulk, yeah.
Like Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
I was about to say Scarlet Witch, but Scarlett Johansson is where I got that from.
Yeah.
My brain.
That's
if he says, and she would happily accept.
Yeah, to basically.
She'd be like, I'm curious what a Krogan mind would be like. Blah 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 blah.
Just blank, just a desert. Tumbleweed goes by.
There's just piles of guns everywhere.
It's just the chunk,
yeah,
and then in the middle it just cracks like kicking a rock, like.
So the fun thing about
it just cracks again on a freaking chair. Just
on the DS.
He's sitting on an iron throne, but of guns.
Ah.
No, like all the boulders. It's like a Wild West theme.
But there's a room.
All the boulders are guns.
So the fun thing about this melding, Frank, is Ollie's actually was more or less offering a special ability that Andre has. Are you familiar with the special ability?
Melding.
Relatively, because I read everything on the Obsidian Portal.
So more or less, what it would do if we spent a good deal of this practice
melding. It's 18 days.
Yeah. So it would easily make sense because you need a week. So I only have to commit effort to the scene, which is absolutely great. And I can do an instant action meld with you, which would be great in combat. I mean, that costs more like effort for me, but the fact that you can do it in like cases of emergency is badass.
Yeah. Well, not to mention you just jump on my back, meld with me, and like, holy crap, you're controlling a Cracks mech.
That is basically it's Mario Odyssey at that point.
Yeah.
Huh.
The T-Rex.
But yeah, probably the reason Krax is bringing this up is he heard you talking to
Yeah.
Winnie about it, and it's like, oh, that could actually be useful since I have this
Yeah.
thing.
If we're like working together, making that plan together, she would have no issues like going mind to mind with you.
Okay, there you go. So, Krax's mind, I actually imagine, I imagine Krax's mind is not like when you went into the human mind, it was. How old is Krax again? Remind me.
Krax is 60 something. Let me check. Well, 60 something. You know, he's
Never
less
mind.
than 100.
I'm going to change what I was about to say because I forgot that he was so young.
Yeah, he's young.
Krax's mind, I imagine, is in fact just like a chaotic swirl, just like most minds are a chaotic swirl. A chaotic swirl of just intense emotions and at the same time pure apathy. So like there's this underlayer
that's
of
me.
apathy, just, like, literally not giving a fuck about anything, and you just feel this apathy that literally it almost like draws some of the color from Entourage herself, dulling the blue of her flesh just a little bit as she melds with him. But then when like he thinks of something that he actually has an opinion of or has a feeling for, you see like it goes from apathy to extreme emotions just in a flash. It's one of those things where the emotions are so intense that your mind self, like your avatar within his mind, does one of those like lets the arms out in a huge like siren scream as like you're trying to process so much emotion that
He's a very
you've never
complicated
experienced.
person.
Yeah,
He's a complicated
very.
person.
It's like before when he was like during the combat when he was taking control of the ship. It's like, oh, this is.
Yeah, we probably like would find the memory of it and how like the last excited thing he was the whole combat.
Exploding. Yeah.
So
That's the other reason he's starting to trust her, by the way.
What was that?
The other reason he's like trusting her is she followed his order to blow up the ship. He was going to do that anyways,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, but she actually appreciated his insight.
Trust in combat and all that.
Yeah.
So
Which is the exact point of this.
So when
He doesn't
you,
really trust Coddle, so.
So when you,
Wow.
rightfully so. So when you do this, Ollie, and you're
Fair.
inside his mind, like I said before, you saw things as you saw things in his the other person's mind as like dark swirling clouds and whatnot. In his, you don't see any of these dark swirling clouds or whatever. You actually see it as though you're on a barren wasteland,
Yep.
and the big swirls around you are that of like sandstorms swirling around you, and you can feel the radiation clouds and everything. It feels like you're lost in like one of the most deserted and dangerous areas of Chechunga without actually having necessarily that planescape there around you. It's how it feels in your mind. Everything about it is hostile. Everything about it is uncomfortable. But there you have it. You're there enjoying it, and
it would tire her out a lot. Like she'd probably be so tired that people would be like, "Why do you look like shit?" And she'd be like, "I've been melding with Krax," and they'd be like, "Oh."